Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, this is Sari Solden and
Regina Carey.
And we're here to wish you a happy ADD Awareness Month. And today, in the spirit of Halloween and in ADD Awareness Day, we're going to share our thoughts with you. We're going to talk about the theme we thought today of invisibility. So we'll get to that in a moment. First, we'd like to introduce, if you don't know about it, our site that we've had for many years called addjourneys.com. And Regina, you want to explain a little bit where we are today with that?
Yeah, well, the site has come a long way, and because of all the interest, the requests, the involvement, we've opened up membership. So when you go to addjourneys.com, you are able to join for free and become a part of discussions, web chats. We do a weekly sharing circle where you can call in and get support and ideas from other people in the community. And it's a wonderful place to come together and share ideas, even if you just want to get on there and look at all of the years of information and content that we've built, developed, produced.
Right, that's what I was going to say. That one reason why we just opened it up to everybody is we've spent years developing tons of content. And even if you think you've been there, go again and search around. I have blogs, we have video material, we have audio material. So however you like to get your messages of inspiration, we hope that you'll find there, or information, go ahead and look around. One thing we're always interested in doing is helping to develop our members themselves, because so many of our members have spent their own years learning and growing and developing as adults with attentional challenges, and people who have great gifts themselves who want to give back. So if you have any ideas for how you'd like to become involved or lead a group or put out your own ideas, please feel free to contact us, and we'll give you our contact information at the end of this broadcast. But for people who don't know us, we thought we'd just tell you a little bit about us individually. Regina, you want to tell about yourself?
Sure. I am a coach, and I work with individuals with invisible disabilities. And you can even find some of my work on the site, and have the ability to purchase coaching too. Members get a discount, so that's a good thing. I have been working in the area of special education for over 20 years, and I've taught and I've worked with a variety of people in the field of education, and also leaders in the field of ADD and learning disabilities. And so I've been around a while, and one of my favorite things to do is work with individuals who have invisible disabilities, because they're brilliant and have
That's why she likes me.
and have so much to share with the world. So I help you do that, and there are so many ways to find support on this site. We really hope that you come and check it out.
Well, I've been so privileged to have Regina working with me on this site since the beginning. And I've been a psychotherapist for adults, men and women with ADD, for 25 years now. I'm a little older than you are. And I have a couple books I've written over the years, Women with Attention Deficit Disorder and Journeys Through Adulthood. You can get those on the site, along with the CD that I produced. It has music and brings everything to life with actors. But I'm also excited that now you can get my book on ebook too by going to introspectpress.com. I got the rights back, and I'm producing that all by myself now, which is really exciting. So, I have a private practice in Ann Arbor, and now I do consults with people through Skype all over the world. So if you want to touch base with me or Regina and find out how we might work with you individually, we'll give you that information, like I said, at the end. But today, let's talk about the theme of invisibility and how we scare ourselves, how we wear masks. I thought this theme applied to both ADD Awareness Month as well as the individual struggle with feeling invisible. So we're going to talk about both of that. First, with the ADD Awareness Month, I think there's so much misinformation out there. The idea of how do you take that cloak of secrecy and misunderstanding off the public's awareness of what it means to have these kind of struggles. And then internally, how people can begin to slowly take their mask off to let themselves be seen. So I usually wear a scary mask for these broadcasts, but today, since I couldn't find them and they're in a box somewhere, I found this mask, and it reminded me that even though it's pretty, what it does is make me feel separate from everybody. It makes me feel protected, because I could be frowning under here, I could be doing all sorts of things you wouldn't know. You just see this pretty little face.
Right, and after a while, even though I thought it was interesting to begin with, I'd want you to take that off so that I could see your facial expressions and get to know you.
Right, see who I really am. And so that's what that mask reminded me of, that even sometimes we push people away, but oftentimes we just sort of hide quietly and retreat and withdraw when we feel different.
Right, or we stay extremely busy in many, many areas so that we never really have to spend any quality time getting to know people or being a part of a group or an organization. We hide behind the mask of doing.
Lots of ways to hide. So we're going to talk about that and the wounds that people feel when they've spent a lifetime not feeling like they can be themselves. So I thought, Regina, maybe you could talk. I know you've been very involved with the Learning Disability Association, with the field of attention deficit disorder in adults, and I know that you've done a lot of work with ADD awareness. So I thought, because this month is for that purpose, why don't you talk a lot about, I think, from my hope would be to let the world know not just about the medical definition of ADD, but really who human beings are who have this diagnosis, and the importance of remembering that these are human beings.
Right, and you're going to, this month the awareness is clear. There's lots going on. One of the best things I think you can do is educate yourself about your brain. Learn about how you work, how you think, how you sleep, how you interact in relationships. Learn about yourself and take the opportunity with all the access to really there's a lot of free information right now, webinars and things that you can be involved in. In fact, Sari's going to be doing something next week through an expo that's going to be accessible in a variety of ways, but you need to learn. But then again, all that information coming at you can be a bit overwhelming. But as you learn and grow, you start to realize kind of who you are and what you want to be doing, and what your gifts are, what your strengths are, and what you can say, yes, I can do that, and no, I can't do that. I think that's one of the beauties of growing older, is that you're less tolerant for just accepting everything that comes your way. But you might also, in your learning about yourself and your brain this month, come across all the labels. So you see things like the LD person, or the ADD person, or the hyperactive person, or the depressed person, or all these labels that we bump in front of the individual. And it's very important that you realize that through this education, many people are becoming aware of people first language. So even though these disabilities do get in the way, they absolutely do. In many respects, they touch all areas of your life. But you're a person first, and if you start to use that language, I have a child with a learning disability, or I have a spouse who has ADD, it's important that you identify the person first. And
right,
I know
yeah. We talk about this for a minute. Yeah, I thought we could just have a little conversation about this, because exactly what's so important as a therapist, when I work with my clients, is that you learn to not let other people define you, that the goal is for you to be able to define yourself, and that starts by understanding that you're a full human being. You have learning challenges, you have gifts, you have qualities. All of that is part of you. So you are a human being with an array of attributes and challenges and gifts, just like anybody. This is just one part of the package, and on that video that I'm going to be showing at the ADD Expo next week, I talk about neurodiversity, and that's an area where we understand that everybody is diverse in their brains and the way they think or attend or relate to people, and there's just a continuum. So part of this whole new movement is valuing your diversity and seeing yourself as a human being first. And I think for ADD Awareness Month, when we talk to other people or educate other people, the goal should be to help other people understand that concept and to respect everybody and to not profile people, as I talk about, just by what they look like on the surface, but really get to know people as full human beings. So that would be my wish for ADD Awareness Month.
That's wonderful.
Now, the other way that we talk about invisibility, or especially during this month of Halloween, and it's interesting, the ADD Awareness Month is in the month of
Right.
Halloween because, we scare ourselves so much with our own labels. We internalize those bad messages that people might be throwing out at us, and what we need to do is start to feel comfortable enough with our differences so that we can take those masks off slowly. And that doesn't mean just, I have ADD to everybody. It means whatever that core of who you are, you don't have to be in such fear of people knowing who you are, that you are different. And I think that's where most of my clients get so much pain from, or fear from, or withdraw, or avoid, or retreat, or hide from other people, because they have a lifetime of feeling like it's bad, they're bad to be different. And I think this idea of not fitting in, not belonging, is so fresh and alive for a lot of adults with ADD that they keep that mask on in whatever form that takes.
Right, and it's important too, as you're older now, you have options. That's really the key to remembering your success and how to be successful is, oh yeah, I've got options here. I was working with a client who is in school and getting a portion of her grade is participation. Well, she doesn't like to speak. She's brilliant, but it's almost sort of difficult to listen to this person speak. She has difficulty even finishing a sentence. So we came up with ideas and options for other ways for her to participate. Now, yes, it means going and talking to that instructor, but when you come to the table and say, I know this stuff, I want to show you that I know it in a different way than discussing with other students in the class. How about if I take a quiz, or how about if I send you an email or show you my notes that I took after I did the reading? You see, there's always ways that you can come to the table with your own ideas that can take place of what the expectations might be in a situation.
Right, so it's about being comfortable enough with your differences. And what I always say, that's why the two of us work on sort of the same issue but from different ends, because sometimes people just have to work a little bit more before they feel comfortable getting to that point. And that's the point you have to get to, be able to say in whatever situation you are in that you need to do something differently, that I need help, or I need to do this differently, because some people just have these wounds of feeling, oh, I don't belong, I don't fit in, I'm not the same, I can't cut it, kind of. If I have to do it differently, it means I'm a failure, or they think I'm a failure. So these old wounds, and you mentioned groups, and I think I see this all the time, that people, especially in groups, they harken back, so many people, to that lunchroom at high school, or that, and they carry that with them of oh, I'm different, and that's like, it colors everything I do. And like you said, you have to realize now the goal is to realize you are older and you don't need to act in that same way now. That if you had to be just like everybody else, nobody needs another one just like everybody else. Right. The conflict people with ADD have is they want to stand out, they want to show that they're different, they want to show they're unique, but they're so scared to do that because that would mean risking that kind of humiliation they're afraid of. And so getting to that comfort with differences so that you can employ these, what you have to be able to do that Regina's talking about in order to offer who you are in maybe a little different way.
Believing that you always have something to bring to it. You always have something wonderful to bring to an opportunity.
Instead of what I see a lot of people do, they take themselves out of the game. So sure, you might be in a group where people might be disregarding you or talking over you or not really respecting you. You might feel like that. It might be all about what happened to you in the past, or it might be these people really are just miserable people. But you have to be able to be aware of who you are now, what power you actually have now, to just slowly start to take the mask off little by little, not to disclose all your personal information, but just to get to the core of the truth of who you are, your truth, like we were talking about before. You don't have to convince other people of the truth. You don't have to convince other people that you're right and they're wrong. You just have to know what works for you and be willing to ask for it and stay with it. It's a lot easier than paying attention to everybody else's demands. So, yep. So that's our message for ADD Awareness Month. To not scare yourself, to slowly take your mask off, and to help in any way you can educate people about that this is about human beings, and we're all full human beings with our own struggles. And when you see it like that, then it doesn't feel like you're such an odd ball. Everybody's got struggles. Everybody's got different challenges, and challenges are one part of who you are, and sometimes they can catapult you to use your gifts in great ways too. So get help for your struggles, get support for your differences, and find a way to enlarge those gifts. Sometimes the very differences you have could be your greatest gifts if you get enough help and support.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so what do we have to look forward to next week?
Oh, well, this is ADHDexpo.com is where you can find this wonderful expo. All the information. It's a very interesting, innovative expo that's been put on for a few years now, and you can just go there and find out about. I made a video, for instance. A lot of experts have made videos talking about different subjects, and mine airs, for instance, next Wednesday. I don't know when this broadcast is going to air, but that will be on the 23rd. But after that, if you see this broadcast after that, it'll be accessible on my site and YouTube. And so our site is addjourneys.com. You can also find out more about me at SariSolden.com. You can write to me at SariSolden.com. And Regina, how do they get in touch with you?
Yes, you can get in touch with me at Reggie at SariSolden.com. That's REGGIE at SariSolden.com.
And so if you want any information, I'm excited about my book is coming out now in Spanish on ebook. Right. And so I will put more information out there when it's available. And any questions, just give us just email us, and we look forward to seeing you in the community. Okay.
Terrific. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.